Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Arisha binti Kamarudin. My student ID is 2025105871. In this video, I'll be presenting about the fake genius, a $30 billion fraud. The Fake Genius, a $30 billion fraud depicts of FTX. FTX, one of the big trading platforms. Sam Bankman-Fried started FTX in 2019. Customers began opening accounts on FTX to trade and buy cryptocurrency, and top venture capital investors started pouring in. By January 2022, the company was worth $32 billion. However, that came to an end in November 2022. What first appeared to be an accounting oversight turned out to be a major fraud, and billions of dollars were lost by customers and investors. The Fake Genius, a $30 billion fraud, focused on crypto fraud. The protagonist, Samuel Benjamin Bankman-Fried, who was born in March 5, 1992, commonly known as SBF, is an American entrepreneur who was convicted of fraud and related crimes in November 2023. Bankman-Fried founded the FTX cryptocurrency exchange and was celebrated as a poster boy for crypto, with FTX having a global reach with more than 130 international affiliates. However, behind this success, there were hidden actions that later turned out into one of the biggest financial scandals in modern history. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder and CEO of FTX, was identified as the mastermind who directed the misuse of customer assets while maintaining a positive public image as a successful crypto leader. He was supported by his fellow accomplice, which is Caroline Ellison, the CEO of Alameda Research, who admitted her involvement in using billions of dollars of FTX customer funds for risky trading activities. Gary Wang, the co-founder of FTX, and Nishad Singh, the former director of engineering, also pleaded guilty after acknowledging their roles in enabling the unlawful transfers and building system that allowed Alameda to access customer funds without permission. The primary target of the fraud was the customer who deposited cryptocurrencies and money into FTX under the assumption that their asset would be securely managed. Samuel Bankman-Fried repeatedly told his customers, his investors, and the public that customer deposits into FTX were kept safe and were held in custody for the customers, that customer deposits were kept separate from company assets, and that customer deposit would not be used by FTX. From the very beginning, FTX and Alameda Research operated in a way that blurred the lines between customer funds and company. Rather than holding customer deposits in separate accounts and safe from company operation, the deposited money was routed into bank accounts controlled by Alameda. At first, he promoted FTX as a safe and reliable platform for people to invest in cryptocurrency. Many customers trusted him and put their money into FTX. However, behind the scenes, he secretly transferred those customer funds to Alameda Research without permission. On November 16, a class action lawsuit was filed in a Florida federal court alleging FTX was a fraudulent cryptocurrency scheme designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors across the US. On November 18, the Securities Commission of the Bahamas, SCB, says cryptocurrency assets are held by FTX. The SCB said it instructed Bankman-Fried to move crypto assets into the regulator's possession to protect creditors from suspected cyber attacks. The U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, unsealed an indictment charging Bankman-Fried with 8 criminal counts, including wire and securities fraud, money laundering, and unlawful campaign finance contribution. And next, one major challenge in cybercrime investigation is that digital transaction can be easily hidden or moved through multiple online accounts, making it difficult for authorities to trace where the money really went. Cyber criminals also use advanced technology, encrypted systems, and offshore platforms to cover their tracks. Another challenge is that cybercrime often involves people and companies across different countries. Every country has its own laws, which can slow down investigations and make it harder to access important information. Evidence in cybercrime cases can be disappear quickly, and data can be deleted, altered, or stored in secret locations online. And another difficulty is cross-border involvement. Cybercrime usually involves multiple countries, different banking regulations, and legal systems. When information is stored on servers located overseas, authorities must request international cooperation, which can take months or even years. This slows down investigations and allows criminals more time to destroy or hide evidence. From investigation perspective, authorities face major difficulties. Cryptocurrency transactions can be tracked on the blockchain, but identifying real people behind those wallets is not simple. Different countries, different laws, and complex technology slow down the investigation process. This proves that law enforcement system must evolve to deal with modern financial crimes more effectively. Plenty of individual customers who invested in FTX by depositing money in exchange held accounts lost money in the collapse as well. A key lesson for them in this debacle is to avoid following the herd of a cliff. Individual investors don't typically have the same size parachute as their larger, more well-heeled counterparts, which they must factor heavily into their decision-making process.